Hey everyone, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Erica and I am a yoga teacher and a weightlifting and CrossFit coach. And today I put together this flow for runners. So full disclosure, I am not a runner. I have even run a half marathon, but I am at the point in my life where I will not run unless I'm being chased. So that being said, I used my personal experience from back in the day, and I also picked the brains of a couple friends who run competitively and run for fun to see what their input would be, and I built this flow off of that. So for the focuses today, first one is posture, which involves shoulders and opening through your chest. So especially during long distances, people tend to start hunching forward, curling up as they go. So we really want to work on keeping shoulders down and back, good alignment, and keep you nice and strong in that sense. The other focus today is hip flexors specifically, but hips in general as well. Hip flexors because your hip flexors see a lot of action whenever you lift your leg. So there's a lot of that in running, and there's a lot of that especially if you happen to heel strike. So we want to definitely work into those and make sure they feel some love today. So what do you need to get started? You really just need some open space to move around. If you have a yoga mat or props, please grab whatever you have. That's great. If you do have carpet, I do suggest using carpet or some extra cushion, a pillow maybe. There are several poses that involve having your knees on the ground, so a little extra padding is always a good thing. My only rule for any flow is to listen to your body. So these poses are not meant to cause pain. Some of them can get pretty intense on the stretching though. So I will be giving you plenty of different options to lessen intensity or push intensity if that's where you're at. But if anything feels super uncomfortable or just something that your body shouldn't be doing, please back out of it and give yourself a break. Every pose is not for everyone. So, with that being said, let's get started. So, getting started, our first pose today is half frog on your mat. So to get into this, you're going to be on your belly and bring one knee out to the side as you settle in here. Your hands can come in front of you, make a pillow for your forehead. And your knee, you're going to be resting on the inside of your knee, and your foot will be directly below. And just chilling out here for a few breaths. Nice big inhales and exhales. Depending on how tight your hips are, you'll start to feel this in your inner hip groin area on the side that's out, and you might feel it in the front of your hip on the leg that is long behind you. In this particular pose, we have two sides. So bring your hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your back toes, push up, bring your left knee back, and this time bring your opposite knee out to the side. Send your back leg long, and again, make a pillow for yourself with your hands. You can bring your cheek to your hands, you can bring your forehead to the mat, whatever works best for you. And just breathing here. Inhale and exhale. And start to bring your leg back so that your feet meet towards the back of your mat. Staying out to the side like a T. Moving into some dynamic stretching here. Chin is on the mat, neck is relaxed. And inhale, lift your right leg and start to reach it towards your left hand. So it doesn't matter how close you get, just opening up through our right hip and side body. Inhale, come back to center, and exhale, lift your left leg and reach it towards your right hand. You don't want a whole lot of movement through your shoulders, so if you don't want to come all the way up and let your opposite shoulder come way off the mat. And bring it back to center. And just start going back and forth here, reaching opposite leg to opposite hand. And maybe do 3 in each side. Nice and easy. Trading off. And one more each side. And come back to center, staying where we are. Arms out like a T. And start to bring your left hand in and push yourself over so that your torso spins open and you're rolling onto your right shoulder. Only go as far as is comfortable here. This is about where I'm comfortable. Your top leg can come in front of your straight leg or behind, whatever feels good to you. If you want more intensity, you can push yourself with your hand and your foot, or you can let yourself roll back a little bit to lessen the intensity on your shoulder. And by roll back, I mean bring yourself closer to the ground. Inhale, start to come back to center, gently roll yourself back. And bring your right hand under your right shoulder and start to push yourself onto the left. Right left foot can come either in front or behind. And again, you can intensify this by pushing yourself further over or lessen the intensity by letting yourself roll back towards the mat. Whatever feels good to you. And start to come back to center. Bring your hands under your shoulders and start to make your way into tabletop position. So here you're on all fours. Hands are under your shoulders, knees are under your hips. You can keep your toes tucked or untucked, whatever feels better to you. Inhale for cow pose. Drop your belly, raise your gaze, tailbone comes up towards the ceiling. And exhale for cat pose, pushing up through your shoulder blades, arching your back, and tucking your hips. Inhale for cow, dropping your belly, eyes come up. And exhale for cat, puffing up through your shoulders, gaze coming towards your belly button. One more time, inhale for cow. And exhale for cat. Inhale, come to neutral tabletop, spine long, back flat. And inhale, lift your right leg and bring it up in front of you for a low lunge. Moving into dragon's pose here. So start to shift forward so that you're opening your left hip angle here and you're coming forward into your right knee. Your knee should always be in the same line as your toes. So your knee shouldn't be falling off to the side or coming in. So in line with your foot. And then as you feel comfortable, start to come up and place your hands on your thigh. You'll start to feel a lot of opening through your left hip flexors here. If it's more comfortable, I do suggest trying to get your back knee so that you're actually resting on the tip of your quad rather than your kneecap itself. And breathe here for a moment. Think about keeping shoulders back and over your hips. And exhale. Start to bring your hands to the mat. Walk your back knee in a little bit. And then send your right foot long for a calf stretch. So plant the ball of your foot and reach back with your heel. You'll start to feel your calf stretching out here. If you want to do some pulses, you can. Or you can stay in stillness, whatever works for you. And inhale, gently come back to tabletop position. Exhale here, and inhale for dragon pose on the left. Left foot comes forward, maybe walking your right knee back a little. And then as you feel comfortable, sitting up through your chest, and bringing your hands to your left thigh, and letting your hips sink forward here. My right hip flexor is pretty tight, so this feels awesome for me. And depending on where you're tight, you might start to feel this in your quad as well. And just breathe through here. If you need to lessen this intensity a little bit, just start to push back through your front knee, which will start to close this hip angle and make the stretching a little more manageable. To make it more intense, keep sinking forward. And exhale, start to come back down, hands to the mat. Walk your back knee in a little and send your left foot long for calf stretch on this side. Reach back with your heel. Again, maybe pulsing it out here. And staying in stillness. And inhale, bring your knee back to tabletop. Exhale, tuck your toes, push back to downward facing dog. Now for this first downward facing dog, pedal out your feet here. Think about sinking one heel at a time into the mat. Think about drawing your shoulder blades down and together. And your hands, the palms of your hands should be completely on the mat. Fingers spread wide, taking up space. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. And exhale, tiptoe to meet your hands for ragdoll pose. So here, feet stay under your hips. Give yourself a nice big bend in your knees. And grab for opposite elbows. And then drape your torso down. Let your head hang heavy. Maybe shifting side to side, or maybe staying in stillness. Your choice. And start to bring your hands to the mat. Walk your feet together so that your big toes are touching. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands come to shins or thighs. And back flattens out and lengthens. Exhale, forward fold. Weight coming towards the balls of your feet. Inhale, slowly rise up to mountain pose, standing tall. Arms by your side, palms facing forward. Let's take one big breath together. Inhale through your nose, fill up, shoulders come up towards your ears. And exhale, let it all out, drawing your shoulders down and back. Inhale, arms rise overhead for extended mountain. And exhale here. Bring your hands behind your back and interlace your fingers together. Inhale, puff up through your chest, fill up with air. And exhale, bend your knees, hinge at your hips, and fold forward, trying to keep your shoulders back and your hands bound. And gently let your hands come to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, hands to the mat. Step your right foot back, drop your knee, keep your toes tucked. Inhale, low lunge, arms rise. And exhale, moving into twisted blizzard here. Right hand comes down to the mat by your left foot. And right foot comes up, reaching back with your left hand. And then opening up to the side as you feel comfortable to do so. So this is really getting into your quads. If your quads are not as tight, it'll start to get into your hip flexors as well. And opening your top shoulder towards the ceiling starts to open up through the chest. Exhale, gently release. Inhale brings you back up, arms rise. And exhale, hands to the mat. Step back, high plank. Drop your knees, chest and chin all the way to the ground. Inhale, baby cobra. Untuck your toes, peel your chest just a little off the ground. And exhale, downward facing dog, pressing up and back. Inhale, right leg lifts. And exhale, step your foot between your hands, drop your back knee. Inhale, low lunge, arms rise. And exhale, twisted blizzard on this side. Left hand plants on the mat, reaching back with your right hand for your left foot. And again, drawing your foot close to your butt and twisting open to the side. And exhale, slowly release. Inhale brings you back up to low lunge. And exhale, hands to the mat. Step forward this time. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Flatten your back. And exhale, fold. Inhale, arms rise overhead, extended mountain. And exhale, hands come behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Inhale, puff up through your chest. And exhale, bend your knees, hinge at your hips. Forward fold with bound hands. Exhale, start to lower your hands to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, hands down. Step your left foot back. Drop your back knee. Inhale, low lunge, arms rise. This time working into hamstrings. Exhale, half splits. Straighten out your front leg. Keep your hips over your knees, or knee, and start to drape your torso over your right leg. And start to feel the stretch in your hamstrings. If you have blocks or something like that, you can always make this a little bit nicer on yourself by having your hands reach to blocks. But think about keeping your back long and reaching your chest towards your shin. Start to bend into your front leg again. Inhale, arms rise overhead. And exhale, hands to the mat. Step back, high plank. Drop your knees, chest and chin. Untuck your toes. Inhale, baby cobra. Chest peels up. Little to no weight in your hands. And exhale, downward facing dog. Tuck your toes. Press up and back. Inhale, left leg lifts. And exhale, step your foot between your hands, drop your back knee. Inhale, arms rise overhead. And exhale, half splits this side. Straighten your left leg, hips stay tall. And starting to drape yourself over your left side this time. Make sure your foot is flexed, toes coming back towards your knee. And again, thinking of keeping your back nice and tall, even as you fold. So not curling up, but drawing out. Start to bend into your front leg again. Inhale, arms rise. And exhale, hands to the mat. Step forward this time, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms rise all the way up. And exhale, one more time. Bring your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Inhale, puff up, shoulders come back. Chest to the ceiling. And exhale, bend your knees, hinge at your hips. Trying to keep your shoulder position. Start to bring your hands back to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, step both feet back this time. One last time. Drop your knees, chest and chin all the way to the mat. Inhale, baby cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts, moving into a quick sequence here. And exhale, step your right foot forward, drop your back knee. Inhale, low lunge. So we've been here before, but this time I want you to focus on opening your left hip. So think about squeezing through your glute to push open that hip. And once you do, you'll start to feel your hip flexor stretch here. You can keep your arms up and moving into high crescent lunge. Your back toes are tucked and gently trying to keep your hip position, lifting through your back knee. Still keeping a nice bend in your front leg. Hips stay forward. Think about squeezing your inner thighs together for balance. And inhale, open up, warrior two. So your back heel comes down. Arms are out by your sides, even with your shoulders. Your back foot is parallel to the back of your mat. And your front heel should intersect the center of your back foot. Think about sinking into your front knee and keeping your front knee towards the pinky toe side of your foot. Inhale here and exhale, extended side angle, bringing your right elbow to your right thigh and left arm up and over. Think about one line of energy from your fingertips to your back heel. And think about drawing this right shoulder back and down. Tendency here is to fall forward. Think about drawing it back. And as you're drawing back, if you can, start to open towards the ceiling, drawing your left shoulder up and back without moving your hips. Just to add a little extra opening here. Still sinking into your front knee. Inhale here, and exhale, easy twist. Left hand plants to the mat, back heel comes up, and right arm comes overhead. Twisting through your torso, hips stay even to the front. Exhale, bring your right hand down to the mat, and step back into three-legged dog. So right leg lifts, but in downward facing dog. And exhale, half pigeon. Right knee comes behind right wrist. Shin comes across your mat. Send your left foot long behind you. Check in. Make sure it's in line with your hip and your knee. Inhale, puff up through your chest. And exhale, make yourself comfy. If that means coming down to your forearms, that's awesome. If you stay in your palms, that's great too. By making this more intense, you would be trying to reach yourself, your chest more towards the floor. Less intense would be bringing your hands underneath you to help share the weight of your body. Keep your right foot flexed to protect your knee, and hips stay generally even. Right now we're working into our outer hip, so your right hip is going to, you should be feeling some stretching through the outside of your glute and your outer hip here. And breathe. Inhale, start to come back to your hands. Re-engage your back foot by tucking your toes. And exhale, push back, three-legged dog. And scorpion your dog out here, opening your hips to the right. And if you look under your left armpit, you should be able to see your right foot. You can take some hip or ankle circles here, but make sure you still have weight evenly in both hands. You're not just dumping yourself into your left side. And exhale, land your right foot for downward facing dog. I'm flipping around so that I can face you. You stay where you are. Inhale, left leg lifts. And exhale, step your foot between your hands, drop your back knee. Inhale, low lunge. Again, thinking about opening your right hip specifically, squeezing your right glute, kind of tucking your tailbone a little bit to press open your hip. Notice the change in angle from squeezing the glute. And keep your arms overhead. If your toes, your back toes aren't tucked, tuck them now. Moving into high crescent lunge. Think about squeezing through your inner thighs, keeping your hips where they are as you lift your back knee up. Good work. Inhale, warrior two. Spin open to the right. Back foot comes down. Again, your back foot should be parallel to the back of your mat. Right foot, if you were to draw a line from your heel to your back foot, should cross in the center, sinking into your front knee, keeping it towards your pinky toe side to make sure it stays over your ankle. Hips stay under you and gaze over your front hand. Inhale here and exhale, extended side angle, left elbow to left thigh, right arm up and over, one line from your fingertips to your back heel. Again, think about drawing your left shoulder back. It's probably going to want to fall forward. And if you feel good, you can start to open towards the ceiling, opening through your chest. Feeling the stretch, keep bending into your left knee. Inhale here, and exhale, plant your right hand, easy twist. Back heel comes up, left hand lifts towards the ceiling. And exhale, bring your left hand down, push back, three-legged dog. And bring into half pigeon. Left knee comes behind the left wrist. Send your right foot long. Make sure it's even with or in line with your hip and your knee. Inhale, puff up. And exhale, sleeping pigeon. Coming to where you're comfortable. You come to the block. forearms to the ground. You can melt your chest towards the ground, wherever feels good. Keep your left foot flexed. It doesn't really matter how parallel your shin is to the front of the mat. And just breathe. Again, feeling this in your outer hip and glute. And inhale, start to come back up. Re-engage your back leg, or back toes. Push up to the three-legged dog and open your hips to the left for scorpion position. Should be able to see your left foot under your right armpit and keep even pressure in both hands. And exhale, settle back down into downward facing dog. And come to your knees here, coming into frog pose. So this one I definitely suggest having some cushion. If you have a mat, what I tend to do is fold up both sides, so it's a double thickness. And for this, you're bringing your knees out as wide as comfortable. Feet just come straight down from your knees, toes facing out to the sides. And as you feel comfortable, sinking in here. Now to make this more intense, push your hips towards your heels. You'll start to feel this really start to get into your groin area. And if you want to make it less intense, pull yourself forward. And your weight will be more in your hands or forearms. And you can also start to sink your chest towards the floor. Wherever you are, just breathe here for a few moments. Back. What I like to do is come back to my palms, tuck my toes, and come into like a wide-legged downward facing dog. You can, if you moved your mat, bring it back to where it was. And then make your way to your back. And bring your knees into your chest. And give yourself a nice big hug. Rock back and forth just to massage out your back. Inhale and exhale, happy baby. Grab for the outsides or insides of your feet. Draw the soles of your feet towards the ceiling. And breathe here. Try to keep your tail going on the ground. Which will also give you a little deeper stretch through your hamstrings and your hips. You can rock side to side. You can straighten one leg at a time to deepen the stretch into the hamstrings. And inhale, bring your knees into your chest. Squeeze yourself into the smallest ball you can possibly squeeze yourself into. And exhale, Savasana. Let your legs fall long on the mat, arms by your sides, shoulder blades under you, palms face up, toes falling out to the side. And breathe here. So you are welcome to stay in Savasana for as long as you like. Usually keep hanging in there, and I would love to know what you think. If you're a runner, if you're not a runner, let me know how it went, how you feel. If you have any comments or questions, please reach out on Facebook or Instagram. And hopefully I will see you back on the mat, maybe in class. But regardless, I hope you have a wonderful rest